Hi, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. I am Michelle Solis from This Must Be Ink. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Seekonk, Massachusetts. So welcome to my Stamp and Flip One Sheet Wonder workshop. I do this every third Wednesday. So I will put up the template, the cutting template, and pictures of the cards that I create each month with the cutting and the dimensions and the pictures of the cards that I've created. I just said that. Okay, so anyway, if you are looking for that template, you're going to go onto my group page, which is Crafty Kraken Create. And up in the files section, you will find all the uploads from all the Stamp and Flip episodes. This is episode 16. And I don't think I said today is May 20th, 2026. Okay, so this month's template, we're going to be able to get 12 cards. So you're going to get 6 cards out of the front side of your paper and 6 cards out of the back side of your paper. Hi, Lorraine. Thanks for joining. So that's the whole concept, is that we're going to use both sides of the paper. You're going to cut a 12 by 12 piece of paper in half, and we're going to make cards with the front and cards with the back. All right, so I have put the pictures up of the cards that I already created. I'm going to turn the camera down and I will show you those. Maybe. One moment. All right. Let's get the camera down here. All right. There we go. Okay, so these are the cards that I created. This was using a pack of paper that's retired, and that's the whole point of this was I started this to use up some of my retired paper that's just been sitting around. And so I'm doing that, and we're pulling out a piece and using it up every month. So this pack of paper was called You're a Peach. I have almost an entire pack left of this. I don't know why, because this is beautiful paper. I don't know why I didn't use it up. But okay, so we've used one piece anyways tonight. So let me show you the cards that we did. All right, so this one is the first card using the A piece. So the A piece is going to be 3 by 4. So on this one, we did regular card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I just did a mat here that's 1/4 of an inch bigger, so 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then just a little sentiment and a ribbon. With the other 4 by 3 piece, you're going to, I did this one. And so you've got, this one's got the same card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then this one's got a mat that's 5 1/4 by 4. And then this little mat is exactly 3 inches wide and then 4.5 inches tall. So you get a little bit of border up at the top and the bottom and none on the side. Okay. Then this one is one of my 3 by 3 pieces. So this has got the same card base, regular card base, and the regular mat, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And then again, this is a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch mat on this 3 by 3 paper. And then we just did the sentiment on the mat there. Okay. Then this one is a little bit different. This is a flat card base. So this is a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card base, and it does not open. But you've got this little card on the front with this 3 by 3 piece. So it opens like this. So this is one of the ones I'm going to show you tonight. I'm not going to go through all the cards. I'm just going to go through the ones that I did with a little bit of a fancy fold. Hi, Sharon and Cheryl, and hi, Maria. Hope you're feeling better. Okay, so that's a little fun fold. I'm going to show you how to do that one tonight. Then with the 4 by 5 inch pieces, this is again a regular card base. And then this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 inch mat that I just pushed everything over to the left, for a little extra interest there, and then a nice sentiment. And then with the other 4 by 5 inch piece, I cut that one into 3 1-inch strips. So this is a regular card base with 5 1/4 by 4 mat. And then this is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4 inch mat for your designer series paper pieces. And then we will mount those. And I'm going to show you how to do that one tonight as well. Okay, so for the flip side of the paper, here is the 3 by 4 inch piece. And I just put this in the middle of the mat. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 inch mat. The mat here for your DSP is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I just did a little bit different sentiment with a little accent piece underneath and a little fussy cut from the paper, just a little bit fancier. Then on this one, we did a fun fold. This is again the 3 by 4 inch piece with a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch mat. But this one, what I did was made a regular card base, and then we cut some off of the front and we added this panel to the front. So I am going to show you this one as well tonight. Then for your 3 by 3 inch piece, this one is a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch mat on top of a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch mat. And hopefully you can center yours up a little bit. Mine's a little crooked. And then I just stamped the sentiment down on the bottom, and this is a regular card base as well. And then for this 3 by 3 piece, again, this is a flat card. So 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then I did the same color, white matte, but I did some embossing with I think it's called Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. And then this little one, I did a Z fold. So this is your 3 by 3 inch. This is 3 1/4 by 9 3/4 inch piece. And I will show you that one tonight as well. Then your 4 by 5. This one looks real similar to that fun fold that we did, but this is a regular card base. And what I did was just added a 2 inch by 5 1/2 inch strip to the left-hand side and then offset my panel there. So this is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4 inch panel. And I just used, what is this from? The little preserves. The peaches remind me that we had peach preserves in that homemade sweetness paper. So I thought that would coordinate cute with that. And then the last one, again, you have your strips. And so I mounted those strips on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 inch mat. And this time, instead of doing them all the same, I flipped the middle one. So you have a little bit of a different look there. Okay, so that is all the cards. And as I said, all the measurements for cutting are in the template, and then the measurements of all the cutting for the bases and mats are in the PDF that says cards. So you can find all of that. All right, so what we're going to do tonight is we are going to do those few fancy folds, or a little bit cards that are a little bit different. I think the other basic ones you can figure out. All right, so the first one we're going to do is the 4 inch piece, I believe. It's this one. Okay, let me get organized. I was organized and then I unorganized myself all the time. All right, so this is the first one we're going to do. Oh, no. I'm sorry, go back. I just skipped 1,000 pages. We forgot to cut the paper. Okay, hang on. All right, let's start from the beginning, Michelle. Okay, let's cut the paper. So we are going to use the cutting template. And the template is, this is a 6-inch piece. So we're going to cut this 12 by 12 inch piece in half first. Okay. All right, so we're going to do that. So we're going to just cut this right in half. We're going to sit this side, this half aside so that we can use that for a second set of cards. This is the first piece that we're going to cut with the template. So this is a 6-inch by 12-inch piece. We're going to cut it right down the middle at 3 inches. Okay, and then we've got 2 pieces. So your first cut is going to be at 4 inches. Then your second cut will be at 3 inches. Which is going to leave you a piece that is 3 by 5. Okay, so for that, we're going to leave that one whole. And then on this second strip, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to first cut it at 4 inches. Then we're going to cut it at 3 inches. And then this 5-inch piece here, it's 5 by 3, we're going to cut it in 3 strips. So we're going to go to 1 inch. And then 1 inch. And then you'll have another 1-inch piece left. So I want to keep these in order like that. And then there are my other 2 pieces. Okay. So the first card that I'm going to show you is with the 4 by 3-inch piece. So we're going to pull one of those out. Set these aside. I'm going to use those later. Okay, so this is the one that's a fun fold. It has an 8.5 by 5.5 inch card base that we're going to score at 4 1/4. Okay, so we're going to score that at 4 1/4. And then what I'm going to do is cut 2 inches off the front flap. So I scored at 4 1/4, and then I'm going to move this down to 2 inches. And I'm just going to cut this piece off. Okay, you can put that aside and use that for something else. And then we're going to just fold this and burnish that fold. That is now your card piece. So you will have your insert here that is 5 1/4 by 4. And you can stamp a greeting on here or leave it blank. Depends on how much you like to write in your cards. Okay. And then all we need to do is mount our 3 by 4 piece of paper on our mat. And this is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, and then that goes right here on our card. So my tip for getting this in the right place is to center this up where you want it and then flip it over. And then you can see that this is where you want to put your glue. You don't want it to cross this middle line. Okay, so we're going to just put glue on this side. And then we're going to flip this back over. Line it up again. Just pretty much in the middle. And there you have it. You've got your little fun fold card with your panel. And then you just need to decorate it. So I'm going to do a little banner. These were created with the 3-banner punch, which I think is one of my favorite. I think this is the punch I've used more than any other punch I've ever owned. It coordinates with the banner sayings sentiment set, and I have used this for so many cards. It's just got great all-around sentiments, and they all fit on these little banners, so they're perfect. So tonight I'm going to stamp in Old Olive, and I don't remember what I brought, so I brought Thanks a Million tonight. So we'll just do Thanks a Million. And we'll get that on there. And then I've already fussy cut a little set of pears out of my paper. So I'm going to just pop those up, pop up my little sentiment with some dimensionals. Right there, and then we're going to pop up our pears. Now we want the pears to go right next to this, so we want to just put dimensionals here, not too close to this edge. So down at the bottom. Right, I always get myself backwards. Okay, there we go. Okay, and we just want to snuggle it up right there. So there we go. And we just need a little bit of bling. I think I did bring some bling, didn't I? I did. I brought low profile sparkle dots, which had some Darling Duckling sparkles in there. So we will use these up for these cards. Perfect. Just adds some real subtle sparkle there. All right, so that's the first fun fold. Okay, get that out of the way. The second fun fold is with the 3x3 piece, or your B piece. And this is the one that is 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. Okay, so this piece, what did I do with the pieces? I'm sure I've got all the pieces. There we go. All right, so this is a flat card base. So it's just a white card base that is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then we're going to have our mat, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And we'll get that on there. I feel like I'm always at the end of my glue when I'm doing my lives. All right, get that on there. And then you'll have a piece that is 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. And we're going to score this at 3 1/4. and not cut it in half. Score it at 3 1/4. And then that will just fold in half for our mini card that is on the front. Super simple. So then you'll have one of your 3 by 3 pieces. This will be your B piece. That will go on here. There we go. And then that will just go right on here. So we'll just get some glue on the back of that and adhere that right in the middle. And that's it for that card. Very simple. So you've got your little, oh, we forgot the inside. We need to cut a piece, I think. I don't think I have a piece. And that's too small. So hang on. Let me grab a piece and we will make this. So this is going to be 3 by 3, just like your designer series paper. For your little square inside. There we go. And you could put 2 pieces of white inside if you wanted to stamp a sentiment inside. You could put another panel here, or you could just decorate this inside panel. There you go. All right, and then we just need to decorate the front. So I brought some ribbon somewhere. Here we go. This is Mossy Meadow, but I thought it was close enough to Old Olive. And we're going to just make a, actually, I don't think I'm going to make a bow. I think I might just loop it underneath. Okay, we'll make a little sentiment. I think did I bring happy birthday? Yes, I did. Who doesn't need birthday cards? Right, I think that's what I probably send out the most is birthday and thank you. So we've got happy birthday. And then I'm going to just use a little glue dot, I think, to get my ribbon on my card. Just right in the middle. And I'm going to just loop this like that. I might need 2 glue dots. Doesn't want to play nice. There we go. And then we'll just get our little birthday sentiment on there. Okay, with some dimensionals again. So it will go up and over that ribbon. Just like that. All right, and then I lost the bling. Oh, here it is. Okay, some more bling. I'm going to put one on this end and one on, is that the same size? Yep, one on that end. Oh, it's a little too close. Oh, no, it's a little too far. Just needs to be right in between. There we go. I think I didn't stamp the happy birthday exactly in the middle, but there you go. That's not bad. Okay, so that's the fun fold with one of the B pieces or the 3 by 3 pieces. Okay. All right, so that's that one. And then we have our other little 3x3B piece that we did on, again, a flat card base, but this one we did a Z-fold. So let me show you that one. So we're going to have the white card base again. That is 5.5 by 4.25. And then we've got our piece of embossed paper with the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. So that will just go right on the front of your card. There we go. Try to get it evenly spaced all the way around. Okay, then to make this little card, we need a piece that's 3.25 inches by 9.75. Then we're going to score it at 3.25 and 6.5. So 3.25. And then you can open your arm and go to 6.5. And that's going to give you your Z-fold. Okay, so one of them is going to fold in, and one is going to fold back. All right, now we just want to make sure that we get this the right way on the card. So it looks like it's going to go like this because it looks like it would flap open like that. Do not be deceived. It goes this way. So this should look like it's opening this way because you want it to, it's going to open 3 times. You want this part to be attached to the card. Okay? Yeah, ask me how I know. How many times did I mess this up? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our 3x3 piece on the front here. Okay. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to attach the back of this to the card. The trick is not to get distracted and do something else in between, or you'll forget what you're doing. And then you'll get it on there wrong. Okay, so it opens like that. There we go. And then we just need another little insert piece, which I probably didn't cut. So let me get another piece here. This is 3x3. That will go in the middle. And again, you can decorate this second panel here or put a second piece of white. So you can put a sentiment there if you want. And then you're going to just decorate the front of it. So for this one, I brought a big pear. And I thought, oh yes, I did. Okay, I thought I had some circles. Although this circle's not quite big enough, is it? For this pear, he's kind of large. He's a little big. Maybe we'll put him like that though. Or maybe not. He's going to take up most of the card, I think. All right, so we're going to glue this together first. This is the little stem that goes on your pear. And we just need a tiny bit of glue on here. Okay. Stuck to my finger. And then that will go on the front of the card. I can't, well, I'm going to do it. Let's glue this on. I'm going to do it not quite in the middle. It's just a little high. And then we'll put our pear at like an angle. Okay, so some dimensionals on the pear. And maybe some little dimensionals. Do I have some? Here we go. For those leaves. Just so everything sticks down. There we go. For some reason, I can't do dimensional backs tonight. I can't grab them. There we go. All right, so let's get him on here. There we go. And then we just need a little, sentiment. Okay, we've got wishing you good things. There we go. And we'll get that on there like this. Yeah, I think that worked out. So we just need a dimensional on this end here. And then a little bit of glue because it's going to overlap our pear right there. So we'll just put a little bit of glue just to hold that end down. Like that. And then our bling. I love it when I can use up bling. Makes me so happy. I think this last color is Secret C, so I'm going to have to, I think I've got some new paper with Secret C, so that should be easy to do. There we go. So there's your other fun fold with your bee piece. Okay. So let's put that one aside. And then the last one was this with the C pieces, which were 3 by 5. Okay. Oh, I already cut it. I almost forgot that I cut it. So here's this one that we cut in 3 1-inch pieces. Okay. So what you'll have for this one is a card base. This is not a card base. This is just a piece of paper. Hang on. Hang on. All right, card base. There we go. 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. Then you're going to have your mat, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And then you're going to have your mat, which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right, so let's get this on here first. Okay. I have to tell you that after being freezing in this office all winter, it is hot in here today. Of course, I have the door closed, so it's quiet, but it's been warm the last couple days here. We went right from spring to summer, boom, just like that. Okay, so what did I say? Yes, 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, right? Yes, sorry, 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. So it should be the same height as your mat, and then 3 1/4 inches wide. So what we're going to do is get our strips on here, and you want to make sure that they're still in order. And the way I do this is I work with the first side, one of the side pieces first. I do not ever dare to put this one in the middle and try and eyeball where the middle is. I always start with the end piece. But if you're good at starting in the middle, that's great. All right, so what I'm going to do is get some glue on here. And then I like to line up my paper on the grid paper from end to end so I can see these lines. And I've got the centimeter side, the metric side on here. And then I can line this up, maybe. Okay, so I can get an even space on either side. So I'm going one little square on either side. And then you're going to get just a little bit of a border at this end. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to do this end of the paper. Make sure I have it in the right order. Yep. I'm going to line it up again just to make sure. And then get this one on again with just about as much space as, whoops, as you did with the other one. What did I do? Hang on. There we go. Okay. Then when you do the middle one, you can make sure that you're centering it in between these two so that you'll put it where it looks like it has an even border on either side. And I think that that's so much easier than trying to eyeball the middle because I never get it exactly in the right place. Okay, I'm just going to turn this so I'm better at horizontal than I am vertical. Okay, so there you go. And then that will just mount to your card. Again, make sure your card's opening the right way. And then get that on the front. Try to leave the same amount of space on either side. There we go. And then we just need a sentiment for the middle here. So I brought, may the good you do come back to you. And I believe this is from an old set called Something Fancy. So this is a retired set. But I wanted a sentiment that went up and down on this one. So this is what we're using. And I punched this shape with the modern oval punch, which I thought looked very nice right in the middle there. So we'll get some dimensionals. For this one. Did I just run out? Oh, one more. Okay, just center that up. And then just some bling. Okay, there we go. So that is the last of the fun folds. Okay. So there we go. All right, the others are very self-explanatory and not difficult. They're just math, and you've got all the dimensions in your PDF. All right, and then I did one more set. I was on a fruit. Apparently, I was enamored with fruit lately. All right, so this one I did with the strawberry paper. This is called, what is this? Berry something? Berry Delightful. I don't know when this is from. I want to say like 2023, maybe 2024. Okay, so this one is using the 3x4 piece, A piece, 3x4 with a regular card base. This time I did it in the green, garden green, and then the mat was Poppy Parade. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. The second A piece with the mat that's 3 by 4 1/2, regular card base, and a regular mat 5 1/4 by 4. And then this is a B piece 3 by 3 with the regular card base and the mat, and a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 mat. And then here's the one with the little card. So you've got the flat card base and your mat and your little card on the front there. And then we've got our C piece, which is the 3 by 5. This one, I just had this piece, this little postage stamp piece sitting on my desk. So I cut it in half and used it for behind my sentiment there. Okay. And then the other C piece, which is 3 by 5. And this is the one cut in strips there. And this time I went horizontal with the sentiment. And then for the other side of the paper, here's the 3 by 4 with the little strawberry regular card base. This is the little fun fold with the 3 by 4 piece. Okay. And then this is your B piece, 3 by 3 on the 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch mat with the 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch mat. And then just your sentiment on the card base. And then this is another one with the flat card base and your regular mat. And this is your Z fold there. And then this is your 3 by 5. And this time, instead of doing a white card base with a cardstock strip, I stole another little piece of paper from the Designer Series paper pack and put some coordinating paper back there. So that's an option as well. And then this one, the 3 by 5, again with the 3 1-inch strips. Okay. All right. So I will put some pictures, the pictures up of these alternate cards, as well as you've already got the pictures of these cards up there with the peachy paper, which was fun to work with, the peachy paper. And then I will also put up these couple fun folds that we did tonight with the pears. It was a very fruity night tonight. But as I said, so out of one piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, you can get 12 cards. So you will have a lot of cards. If you pull out some Christmas paper, you'll have a lot of Christmas cards made. So that's something to think about. Okay, let's go back over here. All right, so that's it for me tonight, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you try the template. I think it's got a lot of good size pieces to use on your cards. So yeah, let me know if you try it. You can certainly post your pictures on the Crafty Kraken Create page so that we can all see and get inspired by what you made and how you decorated them. All right. Oh, Mary and Kathy, thank you so much for jumping in and hanging out with me tonight. Oh, and Martha came on. Thanks, Martha. All right, everybody have a great night, and I will see you on Friday for my Stamp and Sip. Thanks, everybody. Stay crafty, my friends.